Hey, what's up you guys? It's Six. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is weird. And it's not weird because of the subject matter or anything, although it is really new for me to branch out into something that isn't portraits. You guys have been seeing me do it more and more lately. Mostly I'm trying to get the handle of doing things that aren't portraits so that I can kind of enhance my portraits, if that makes sense. Like if I learn how to draw like other things, then I can include them in my illustrations and like make them look more interesting. But anyway, that's not the point. The thing that makes this video weird is how I felt while I was working on this piece. I was super not vibing with anything that I was doing this day. For one thing, it took me a very long time to even make this video. It is Friday morning as I'm recording this. These go out on Friday for Patreon and then Saturday for YouTube. Sometimes Patreon gets them sooner, especially if I get them edited sooner, but it is unheard of that I am still filming on Friday, right? So this was absolutely insane for me. I filmed this yesterday as I was working on it, so I'm coming in, finishing it off today, Friday morning, which is crazy. This video also went through a ton of different stages. It started off as a vlog, and then I transitioned it to, so you guys know, like my little monthly calendar that I have, where I have like every single week for the year planned out. So there's a video, and then if I don't like the video, I have a backup. So the backup for this video was me going through my old high school sketchbooks, because I do have them somewhere in my house, but I couldn't find them. Instead, I ended up finding my pandemic era type sketchbooks. So I was going through some of those. I recorded like an hour's worth of voiceover. I still had, I think, like 2 sketchbooks left to go. And then I was like, I feel so weird about this. I actually don't want to do this. Maybe I'll do it in the future, but for the moment I felt weird. So I ditched it and was like, okay, well, as I was going through those sketchbooks, I found some illustrations that I think looked really cool, and just like I didn't have like the skill set to pull them off at the time. So why don't I take those and then try to do them and like, you know, revamp them, do a little redraw. So I started doing one, and then I was like, I can't do this either. I don't know what it was yesterday. Everything I tried to do felt so not great, not good. I was not vibing with literally anything that I was doing. So I was like, okay, I have to film something, because I'm keeping to my word. I am going to get a YouTube video out every Saturday this year. I don't care. It is happening because it's something that I want to do. It wasn't like me pushing myself to make art when I don't want to, even because I did want to make art that day. I had the drive. It was just every single thing that I tried to do didn't turn out, or like starting was so difficult, even though it was things that I wanted to do or wanted to work on. Like the redraw, I absolutely wanted to do that redraw. I mean, like looking at the original and like knowing how I felt making it, and knowing how I would feel tackling it now, and like how much that would change, and like realizing like how drastically my art is improved would be awesome. But did I want to do it? Or was I like, could I start it for some reason? No. So I thought it would be fun to just kind of like bring you guys along for a day when I just can't do stuff, when art's just not turning out, because social media is very curated. We know this. I try to not do that. I try very hard to make sure that I'm sharing like authentic feelings and things that are happening to me, whether that's like illustrations that I'm not super happy with, or like being late to something because I just like couldn't make it work. I try not to like make everything super perfect, especially like my voiceovers, for example. I try really hard not to edit them anymore, because I used to like go out and edit every single and every single pause while my brain was trying to work. And after a while I was like, no, I want to leave them kind of low. And I used to script them a lot too. Like it would be my own thoughts and stuff, but I would like curate them, if that makes sense. So I would like make them super streamlined and do like a scripted voiceover, which no shade to people who do scripted voiceovers. I did like doing them at the time, but after a while I was like, I kind of prefer the more like stream of consciousness, especially because when I was doing scripted voiceovers, I was doing like 9 million takes, and I was like, it takes me infinitely longer to do those than it does for me to just sit here and talk to you guys and tell you how I genuinely feel about things in the moment. Do I miss things sometimes? Yeah, I miss a lot of details because there are things that I want to say that I forget, that I wouldn't remember unless I was sitting there and writing them all down. But at the very least, you guys are getting my like immediate thoughts, and I think I kind of prefer it that way. But anyway, so this piece, I I couldn't really bring myself to do anything except I did have the urge to color. So I was like, okay, let me bust out my paint markers and just draw something that I think would be really easy. I was mostly doing like little round fruits, and I didn't want to do too many circular things, so I tried to throw in like a strawberry and a peach slice that you guys will probably be seeing really soon, or maybe I've already seen, I don't know, I can't see this video as I'm recording it, but I tried to throw some other things in there for visual interest, so it wasn't all like circle, 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 circle. And then I just went ham with the markers. I was kind of just experimenting with how colors like overlaid together. Like for the kiwi, the kiwi was driving me insane because I thought I had picked like a mid-tone green for the like the flesh, the fruit on the inside, and then I was gonna do a lighter green on the edges, and I had so many markers that looked like they were a lighter green and dried to the exact same shade, which drove me insane. And so I could have just darkened it, but the thing with the greens is that so many of them are like true green, if that makes sense, and I was like, this is not going to shade with this kiwi, this isn't what I want, or they're super dark, so they're either the wrong undertone or they're super dark, so that wasn't working for me. I think I layered like 3 or 4 different greens on top trying to get it to go lighter, and I was like, okay, it's just not gonna happen. And I went in with white, and I was like, I don't know. So that was an experience. But the cherries really surprised me actually, because I wanted to do like a dark, almost sort of like a black cherry type thing, and I don't have a lot of dark colors. I don't know what it is about paint markers. They have a lot of what I would call like primary colors, and then there's like more like saturated and then more pastel. But there's not really a lot of dark colors. There are some, but even the colors that are dark lean more towards like the like super bright like primary end of the spectrum, unless it's just straight black. And I obviously didn't want to use straight up black for this. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I probably could have. But anyway, I was like, okay, what's the darkest color that I have? I have this brown. So I tried it, and first of all, it was not dark. At least not compared to this bright red, which, oh my gosh, I think I showed the brand of the marker as I was working on it, which I'm pretty sure it was Shuttle Art, because when I put that red down, I was like, oh my god, it was so smooth, like absolutely insane. I was like, you guys have to get this marker. Specifically just this one red Shuttle Art, which I don't think you can buy them individually, but oh my god, that marker. I was obsessed with her. So I put that red down, and then I tried the brown, and I was like, this is not dark enough. So I went over it with purple, which was also super bright, but somehow dried to be perfect when they were all mixed together, and I was like, oh, interesting. So I really, really liked the cherries. Something about this piece, I think I wish I went a little more like blocky, if that makes sense. Like I think I wanted to experiment with like more graphic shapes, but that just wasn't registering in my mind because the fruits was round. So like I wasn't going for like perfect realism or anything. I just kind of wanted to color and make colors be next to each other, if that makes sense. I just wanted to play with stuff. Really, when it came down to it, I think like when I was almost finished with the illustration, because the whole time I was working on it, I was like, okay, this looks weird, other than the cherries. I was like, this looks weird. This isn't turning out how I want it to, but I have to keep going. I have to keep filming. I have to finish this. And I felt super, super weird about it up until I had all of like the base colors down. And then I started going mixed media with it. I brought in some alcohol markers, I think, off camera. And after a while, I got kind of like zoned into the more like tactile experience of making art, like just like the feeling of doing stuff on paper, and that made me feel a lot better because I was in a terrible mood when I was working on this piece. So when I kind of like sat there and was just like playing with art supplies again, I was like, this is why I like this. this is what made me do this job. So that was really fun. I wish I had filmed that, but also I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I think I would have gotten a lot of a different feeling when working on it if I had been recording that particular portion. So you guys are going to see it come together in a second. This is a very short video because my brain is rotted right now, and not in the fun way that it was when I was doing my warm-ups. This is like the rough brain rot, the tough rot. So that is pretty much it for this video, you guys. Next week's video is going to be considerably less of a bummer and hopefully infinitely more interesting. I hope you guys like these weird little fruits. I also went over it with colored pencil at the end, and I really wish I didn't, because for whatever reason the texture turned it, all of them, furry. It looks so weird now. I think maybe from like how roughed up the markers made the paper, but it came out looking weird, but that's okay. If you guys still like it, I hope you do. I don't think I'll be posting this one on Instagram or anything, so this one's a YouTube exclusive. Enjoy that. Huge shout out to my patrons that let me make videos late and hardly so that I can afford to do other stuff that my brain is more inclined to do. I really appreciate you guys. If you want to, go check out the Patreon and get this month's rewards if you haven't seen. I think I posted those last week. They're really cool. Sparkly My Little Pony sticker. Come on now, go get that. It's patreon.com/6studios. If you made it this long into the video, you should drop a potato emoji, because I see people saying drop emojis. Is there a potato emoji? There is. You should put that down there, because otherwise I won't believe you. Anyways, I also really appreciate you if you've been watching for this long. I know I say shout out to my patrons all the time. I really do appreciate people that just sit here and watch my YouTube videos, because you guys help me exist too. Believe it or not, I really appreciate you. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.